We have these idea of spirit guides. I don't know that I've ever consciously connected with them, or I don't know anything about them. Can you share with me something about that, about my
Yes,
spirit guides?
yes. Well, we'll talk to you about a few. One of them is avian in nature. So, in terms of spirit animals, there is the idea of an avian consciousness. Pay attention to which one resonates the most. There's the idea of the eagle, there's the idea of the falcon, there's the idea of the hawk. These are all in the ballpark, you could say, of the type of avian guide you're linked with. The falcon may give you a lot of power to draw upon, but pay attention to this. The utility of this particular avian spirit guide is that they can soar to extreme heights and can look down at your life and can see the big picture. And they can assist you in understanding how to move, how to navigate through situations, and how to execute a choice with precision. Because as you know, the bird will go to an extreme height and will then swoop down on prey, successfully ensnaring it. So this is a metaphor for the type of ability you can cultivate in your own life through working with these beings. In terms of other animal consciousness you can draw upon, and this one has to do with that strength tarot card we mentioned, is the jellyfish. We know that one might sound a little strange. However, the jellyfish in many ways corresponds to the idea of a being with intense power, oftentimes intense electrical power. So intense it can create a luminescent field around itself, yet it gracefully, playfully, sensually moves through life. So this is another quality you can adorn yourself with through interacting with that particular guide. In terms of more humanoid types of guides you're linked with, there are connections to my people, what you describe as Sassani. And you may find that our intellect really resonates with yours, so you may find there is an attraction there as well. But you're not limited to just this. You also have connections to Arcturus, connections to Sirius, connections to the Pleidies. And this is because you've jumped around a lot, linearly speaking, as a soul, going from one incarnation to another, to another, to another, within the star realm, within the celestial realm. So you've picked up guides here and there that all still work with you. And you are also linked to the being we had mentioned earlier, Thoth or Thoth. So there's a lot for you to choose from, but all of them will serve you in different ways. The more you train with a particular guide, the stronger that link will get. We would advise training a little bit with all of them. Spend a week with each one, doing some type of practice, some type of exercise that will strengthen your connection. Once the connection's made, now you can call upon them at will, as needed in different situations, should you find you require their guidance in different situations.
Okay, and as you say, spending a week with each one, how would you recommend I do that? I believe you and other beings from your civilization have provided sort of symbols and telephone numbers to connect with Pleiades and Arcturus and Sirius. And would you just recommended doing that method?
That's a way that can serve you. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Meditating upon the sigils that represent that civilization and doing your best to internalize it. So what we would advise is this: if you're working with a sigil, like some type of contact symbol, have it before you and simply imagine that as your eyes trace it, you are covering the iconography with gold. You're seeing the symbol becoming golden as your eyes move around it, as your eyes trace it, seeing everything on the picture becoming golden. And then the idea is inhale and imagine you're taking all of that golden light into yourself. You can bring it right into your heart center and see the symbol on your heart. And then the idea would be inhale into your heart center, see the symbol get brighter. Hold, smile down to the symbol, charge it with love. Exhale, see it get even brighter. And do that for about 10 breaths. And then at the end of the exercise, simply ask that the beings represented by this symbol awaken within you, activate within you, and fuel you with their wisdom, fuel you with their power, and it will begin to activate within you. So that's a way you can work with the symbols, the contact symbols, these types of things. For a being like Thoth or Thoth, you have the hieroglyph that's used to depict this being. That will be sufficient. You can even make your own if you wish, sketch it out, and treat it as a contact symbol, and repeat the exercise there. The same can be done for the falcon. The same can be done for the jellyfish, if you wish.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful.
Yes.
Is there any particular message that they have for me at this time?
Don't be afraid to unleash your power and to let it guide you. Don't be afraid to expand into the world. The turtle shell tactic works for some time, but at a certain point, you outgrow the shell. The turtle shell tactic relates to the idea of the conditions in one's life, externally or internally, being stormy. So the being withdraws until the storm passes. That withdrawal can feel very nurturing, very comforting. So it becomes somewhat permanent for the being because they've fallen in love with the comfort. They have fallen in love with the sense of protection that they have gotten from the withdrawal. However, the storm has passed. So the key is to then expand back out, to awaken with spring, metaphorically speaking. And this is what they're prompting you to do. Expand out. Expand into your life. Grow into your community. Grow into your world. The key is to make sure you are nourishing yourself. The key is to make sure you are really feeding yourself spiritual energy. You are feeding yourself life force so you can be endlessly giving, so you don't burn out. Because if you attempt to expand and expand and expand, but you're not reflecting, you're not going within, you're not nurturing yourself, then it can become imbalanced. So develop some routine, some practice where you're deeply nourishing yourself so you can continue to expand and you can continue to give your best self to all those whom you encounter.
Thank you for that. As we talk about, expanding out into the world, what I struggle with is many times feeling that this world is there's so much ignorance, there's so much that it's difficult to express and to be myself because the world doesn't understand and there's not a place for it or something.
Thanks. We have sort of a silly question we'd like to ask you.
Sure.
No matter what's happening on Earth, no matter how positive, no matter how negative, no matter how awakened, no matter how ignorant, is the sun still shining and giving life to all that it touches?
Yes.
And that is you.
Okay, thank you. That helps.
Yes, you're welcome.